Hello, this is Mr. Capert. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make this table in Excel. This table can be used to calculate the potential energy, kinetic energy, and then the velocity of your marble when you input the mass of the marble, the mass of your counterweight that you're going to use, and then how far it will fall. This will be really important later. You make sure you save this so you have it later. Now to find Excel, go down here and start to type in Excel. Your guys is a little bit different. You have the search bar right here. I have an older version of Windows. Do a blank workbook. And now that you have it open, you are going to start entering all the data in here first. I didn't have my graph in front of me, my table here, and I need that in order to do this. So start entering your data. So Shift and 3 gives you this number symbol. So you hit Shift and then the number 3 at the same time. You should be able to see that on that key. And then you want to put mass of the projectile, and its units are kilograms. Now, if you want to widen this, you can click and drag it. If you do a double click, it makes it the exact right size so the text fits perfectly. Mass of your counterweight, that's also in kilograms. And then you want to do your change in height of the counterweight. Weight on that delta symbol. I'll show you how to put that in. And it's measured in meters. That's why the M is there. Potential energy. I put CW because that, oh, I did capital on everything else, and oh, that's fine. Put CW so that you know it's the counterweight. Kinetic energy of the projectile. I forgot to put joules. Oh, to put these brackets like this, you hold Shift, and on mine it's 9 and 0. Velocity is measured in meters per second. Now what you want to do is start putting the rest of the data. I center these normally to make them look nice, and then you can do other things like color these in with a color you like if you want to. And then go down the line and start putting your data in. You're going to do this for the rest of those. I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to pause this and then come back with it completed. I have all my data entered. I can again center this if I highlight all of these and do this center button. I also want to put grid lines around all this, so highlight everything and then do all borders. And that gives you a border for each one of these. Now, another thing I want to do is add that delta symbol that I didn't put in before. Hopefully I can find this quickly. It's been a while. So input, insert symbol, and then it should be under Greek. Aha, found it pretty easily. So click on that delta symbol, hit insert. Now on mine, to make this fancy, what I did was made it subscript. I didn't know how to do subscript, so I just made this like a smaller number. So you can do that for each one of these. Make these smaller so they look like they're subscript. So like that. Or you could go even a little smaller if you wanted to. Potential energy, this should be capital. Same thing with this. And then velocity initial. So next what you're going to do is start coding so that Excel will find these values for you. In the past, you guys did this by hand. What's nice about Excel, it can do thousands of calculations all at one time as long as you enter the equation incorrectly. So click on this first cell here and then hit equal. So our potential energy is equal to mass of the counterweight, because we're talking about the counterweight at this point, not the projectile. So mass of the counterweight times, your time symbol is that asterisk. You can do Shift 8 and you get this asterisk symbol. That's always times. So mass times gravity, which is 9.8 meters per second squared, always. Don't put units, that won't work. And then times the change in height, just press on that. Hit enter, and it calculates it for you. Isn't that pretty awesome? Now, you could do thousands of calculations using this program because all you have to do now is click and drag this equation so that it applies to all these cells. Look at that. You didn't even have to do five more calculations there. It did it for you. Now, your kinetic energy, remember, is the same as your potential energy. The energy is simply transferred. So your kinetic energy of the projectile is equal to that change in potential energy of the counterweight. Hit enter, and then click and drag. Now this last one, I'm going to have you guys do this last one. So you're going to do equals, and then you're going to put in your equation for velocity. I put the equation for velocity on the worksheet, and we may do this as a class if you need more help. But this is the first part. Make sure you save this after you have it done. Do a file, save, and then go to your H drive. And your computer might look a little different than mine, and find your H drive. And then I would create a new folder, and I would call it Trebuchet to keep everything together. And I would call this projectile analysis graph. Hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any other questions.